little bit. I've got my star earrings in today. There you go. Morning, whoever's there. I don't know if just in the title. Yeah, God has answered our prayers because, as I was saying, I think it was yesterday, for those of you who were there anyway, God answers our prayers in so many different ways. The universe, whatever you want to call it. I'm more comfortable saying God these days. But I remember Chris H. loved the title of this live cast. Thank you, Chris H. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're new to my channel. I talk about a lot of things. People may like it or not like it. I show a lot of things. People may not like it or like it. I don't just show one thing, but what's happening in the world is a lot of stuff that I talk about, whether people believe it's happening or not. But with that, I believe, I did say this yesterday, that a lot of people who would say they don't believe in God or they're atheists or whatever, not that it matters in that sense. I bet you any money, you might not have said to people, I bet they've been on their knees and I bet they've prayed. Not that you have to get on your knees, but I'm saying, I bet they've prayed for justice. I bet they've prayed for God to bring the righteous people in, the good people in to, go against a lot of the stuff that we know is happening, even in churches. And I don't mean all churches. I mean, there's nefarious people in all walks of life, and a lot of them are the people who pretend they're good. Well, we know there's things going on behind the scenes. I have for sure prayed exactly, and this is what I was trying to talk about yesterday. The plan that's in place has brought so many people back to God. God is within you. It's not outside yourself, but then again you could say God's all around because it's omnipresence. It's within you. It's all around. It's in what you breathe. Everything. But as I've said, I bet you any money there's people who say they've never believed. They are turning to be a believer and hold that faith, because especially now, because just because you can't see something doesn't mean it isn't there. It is there. You feel it, and you'll feel it within your heart very strongly. And the things that have been going on over the past few years, and I've said you can see the fall of the old guard, the ones that are not connected to source, the ones that want everybody disconnected, taking Christianity away from so many countries of good people. Why? Because they are not from that. They know if people are disconnected, they are disconnected from the power. So here's a little story. I've talked about this before, ages ago. Now, God will give you what you ask for. It might not be in the way you think, because you've seen a little video I put up on the community page the other day about, how things are given to you. If you ask for strength, you'll have things that try to break you. It's for you to move through that and become stronger. That's how it normally works. And you get your miracles and all that. I've never not believed in God. I've called it source, I've called it the universe, whatever, it's still the same thing to me. And people don't have to get upset about that. But I've never not, spoke out loud, spoke into my head to that energy. Things are coming not just for me, for humanity. And Anyway, yeah, a few years back, and trying to think when it was. So, I can't remember if it was just before I had Finn, or just after. I think, yeah, it was before I had Finn. Finn's 7 now, nearly 8. So, and I was on my own at the time as well. So, something happened. Like, it wasn't massively traumatising, even though it felt like it to me at the time, because we've all had a few things. But the point was, I'm not telling you what happened, it just was, when this thing happened, oh no, that's another story, that's not the one I'm thinking about, it's not that, it's when, right, yeah, so I think, again, it was either before Finn, or just when I'd had Finn, and I was still on my own when I had Finn, so, yeah, it might be when I had Finn, because my emotions were everywhere anyway. I'm a Pisces. Hi, Red Eye Jedi. Just let everyone know I'm talking if anyone comes in and I'm not saying hi, because I'm looking at the path walking. And obviously, I'd been watching the news at the time, which I don't watch now, I just watch, alternative, and we know if they're putting anything out, it's not the true story. So, at the time, things were popping up with, do you remember, I mean, it's still going on, boats coming over, women and children on them, they were finding children on the beach, even though some of it was, dead, supposedly. Some of it was happening, some of it was made by the mainstream media, because when you learn about the media, it's all to set your emotions off, put you into fear and all that. Anyway, I was getting proper fed up with just having 16 years old time around with me. Yeah, I'm fine. It's all good, so just getting past people that probably think I'm mad speaking in the street, but yeah, so I got very emotional because I was thinking about my child in bed and these children, but because it wasn't that initially, it was the amount of news reporting that was being put out, like it is, even back then on a daily basis, like I said, Finn's 7 now, of just doom and gloom, and I vowed to myself that I'd never watch the news again, because I wasn't a news person anyway, but I was just seeing that, because you get it in feeds and everything. So I sort of remember being upset and was saying to myself, to God, why is this happening? Why is there all this, this sort of stuff going on? Why are there still people in other countries that don't have things and not abundant, water on countries, so on and so on. And it's not because I didn't know certain things at the time, but I just didn't know how deeply things were set up by, you could say, the dark side, Satan's army, at the time. So, I was asking, this is what I was saying about when you asked, yes, I receive. So I was asking, especially in this day and age, to me, it shouldn't be like that, because, you remember, I was thinking about things like Feed the World, when they did all the concerts with all the celebrities, blah, 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 thinking, where's all that money gone? There shouldn't be kids still starving in Africa for this, that and the other. All these celebrities with all these money, blah, 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 at the time. So obviously I was putting that out. And then that's when I said to my dad, and God works in mysterious ways. I said to my dad, I don't get all this. I don't get why people are, still like this, like in an in-depth way. And that's when my dad said, well, if you want to really know, it's a bit like Neo in The Matrix, because we all know that's a documentary. Not saying you're waking up in a slime pool, just saying waking up to the illusion. And he just said, go to this channel. And that's when I went to an American channel, which I used to talk about at the time. And there's people, I think, still on here that were over there at some point anyway, at the beginning. And it was called We the People 24/7. And I said it had the picture that Elon's just put up of the American Civil War with the the frog thing. I never remember his name anyway. That's in all the memes, and they do the memes with the frog's head on. And it was that, and that's where I began to learn about the military presence, the high intelligence, the highest clearance HQ for Q and President Trump. And that's where all that began a while back. And then, so that's what I'm trying to say, if you get what I'm saying about when you ask for something. I asked why. When I went through all that and I found out the deeper levels of corruption, I'm not talking about the surface most people know about, it broke me to the core. Like it's broke many people, and it'll break more people as the people are waking up now. But the people have to wake up. But when you do, it was another thing again of how many times I prayed, how many times I asked out loud or within myself, because God is within. When people start going, oh, you're looking for something outside yourself. God is within you. DNA holds God's strands. Why do you think they were doing a CERN thing to try and find the God particle? If they could work it out, they'd destroy everybody. Hence why they've been putting things out over the past couple of years in lockdown. But we're not supposed to know. We don't need to know the true origins and this, that, and the other to be working stuff out. It's what it is, and you are part of that. And they're not part of that, and they hate it. So that's what I'm trying to say. When you ask for something, it comes in. When I did ask and all that came in, and I started seeing on an in-depth level, like I said, it's like the Matrix. I could have easily gone, oh my God, I can't carry on, I can't, a lot of people won't or didn't carry on. This place is evil, this realm is like, what the fuck? That's how I felt. But after that, the faith still held, and it's not a horrible place here, it's just the wrong people took over and hoodwink the people, basically, God's people. But they're stronger, and more people are waking up, especially those who didn't have the faith before are turning to the belief, because it is a godly plan. It's always been said it's biblical, bigger than we know. I think we'll see things we've not even acknowledged, I don't know what the right word is anyway, but yeah, it's beautiful. And like I said before, it's not because you're going to see, because I don't believe in it like that, God sat on a cloud coming down, saving the people, because he's within you, works through people, works with good people. And that's why you'll see people speaking out all over the world, true patriots that know and that hold that faith, and they're speaking out and they're not in fear. Nothing to be fearful of. Powerful people, godly people. So, and there was another time when our light and strength is being used in unseen places. Keep on shining, people. Exactly. That's why I've got my little these on today. Let's see. Star ratings. Keep shining. can't see them anyway. And then there was another time, there's been many times, but the strongest one for me was, it happened, I mean there's one that didn't happen, it happened last month or the month before with something, and I sort of made a pact with God about it as well, because it's something I'll probably talk on in the future of what I saw within people when I asked about something and something came in to go against it. I'll talk about that another time. But another time a while ago something happened, like I was saying before, I had Finn, and like I said, it wasn't massive, things don't have to be massive, but it was a little bit traumatising to me. And when I had realised a few things and I got upset, I remember sitting, I was on my own at the time. I've been on my own quite a few years before I got with my partner that I was with now, which is hilarious because I've known him since I was younger, and got with, we used to, I've known him since I was about 17, which I just laugh because that number. And even Finn said last night when he was going to bed, he was messing about, saying he's older than me. He's older than he is, and I was saying he's 7. And he said, well, add 10 years on it. And I said, what's that? And he said 17. So that number to me is now given to me, obviously because I have a high belief in that. And numbers are language as well. God's language, they use it, but 17. But anyway, going back to the other bit is, yeah, so this thing happened and I remember being upset again, and I was on the floor and I was like asking, and I was sort of sat there, and you could say in a meditative position, legs crossed and all that, but I wasn't doing that. I was just asking some things, and all of a sudden this, I'd say, divine presence came in, and you could say, I would say a bit like Kundalini. People get a bit mad about that who are highly religious, but I'm just saying, to me, it's all different ways of energy. And it moved through me, and it like lifted my head up, and tears were coming out of my eyes, but I was smiling, and it was the most blissful, loving energy. That's how you know what something is. If it's fearful, it's not. And I just can't explain it to this day. And my sister's had it as well, but she's on the same line as me. It was so beautiful. It made me cry because it was so beautiful, and it filled me up, and it was a bit like, don't worry, you know, none of that matters, blah blah blah, that sort of thing. You know, it wasn't telling me to go and be vengeful, go and do this. It was just very blissful. The feeling was beautiful, and that's what I said. Couldn't see it, but I could feel it. And then there was the other day when I was walking home, I reported on it and said, you know, I was walking home, I don't know what I was thinking of, I was near home, and all of a sudden it was like I was dreaming, and like for a few seconds or minutes it felt like I was dreaming, and everything was so calm. It was like I was in this protected bubble, and I can't even explain that because some of these things you can't explain, but people will, hi Ricardo, people will resonate because they will have had that experience of like this blissful, joyful, very, very high loving energy that you can't explain. And that goes along with a couple of the songs I was posting out last night. You get things sent to you in different ways. So the guy called Danny Goki, is it, or something? I don't know how to say his second name. Oh my god, I cried at his songs last night, and I didn't realise he's like I don't know what they're like a gospel singer, sort of like godly singer, but his songs are beautiful. And I came across his first song, and then I went to his album. I was playing him at work yesterday. I thought, I'm going to switch it down a bit, they'll all think I've gone crazy, but they were just beautiful songs. And there was one called Faith, I think I put that one out. There was a few others, I think it was something like If You Can't Feel It Yet or something, or See It Yet or something like that. That was beautiful. I was reading people's comments as well, and it made me cry last night. And I was like, you alright? I went, yeah, So I'm just singing away to these songs because he believes in God as well. We would call it the universe, but he talks to the universe a lot. So yeah, but like I'm saying, lots of people are turning back to, I wouldn't say turning back to God, some might have lost the faith. I think a lot of people did lose the faith. And some who never had it, or think they didn't have it, because they're all connected. You're never not connected, it's just sort of when you wake up and realise. Like I said, I bet you any money, they've all prayed at one time, and they might not tell people that, but they have. You know, because you'll hear people now waking up like, oh God, you know, why can't they? And if there's a God, why aren't doing this? It is all happening, but it's happening through people. I think we think something's going to come out of the sky and like, blah, blah, blah. It works through you. You know, Jesus' sayings, teachings, whatever, starts with you, with the person you are and the person you want to be and how you behave and conduct yourself and stuff like that. And the thing is, we're not all... Hi laddie, hi from Australia. We're not all perfect. We're all flawed. Everybody's flawed. No one can say they're not. So people need to get off their high horses. But it's beautiful. And when I was listening to these songs, obviously the high vibing songs, I was just like, yes, you know, I know my call was answered a while back, and I've always held that faith. And that's why I say, even if you're new over here and you might go back and see my videos now, and you know, I've got the orbs in, which is, you know, I've got angelic light in there, things going on. People don't believe in it. You might come across and, you know, see that I talk about Q and Trump because it is a thing. But you don't need to be offended by that. All I'm saying is at the end of the day, no matter what I'm into or I believe in, I've always believed in God and the presence and the good people who it works through. And that can be in high places. It can be in politics, it can be in other places, but these are the people that try to speak out that side of normally assassinated or got rid of. Hence JFK. Hence Reagan tried. There was a few presidents that tried, the rest of them were all nefarious like they all are. And that's worldwide. And that's why I'll say China's kicking off big style at the minute. All the nations are kicking off because they know it's tyrannical rule. They know they're not godly. That's why I said they've gone around the world and they've tried to destroy, you know, I don't know if the right words, you know, they say Christianity, whatever. You know, people going, oh, the true origins, this, that and the other. It doesn't really matter, it's just that belief. I'm talking about the true believers, the good people, not the ones that pretend they are, a bit like the Khazarian mafia, if you know who they are. You know, doing the work which is going against all the evil fuckers. That's the only way I can say it. Because we know in a spiritual war. And I remember even someone said the other day, I don't even know if it was a follower, said we're at war. And he went, oh yeah, I said no, it's a different war, it's a spiritual war, it's a war on minds. They don't, I mean, yes, we've still been doing things with guns and bombs and things like that, but it's not like back in the day, as we know. It's corporations and stuff like that, and the TV, the media. The media is the biggest culprit, we all know that. That's why I say, get yourself on Twitter now, Elon's there, get yourself on Truth Social, get yourself on all the other platforms out there, Rumble, all that. Don't forget YouTube's part of it. I hope they get cleaned out in the end. So yeah. Hello laddie. Hi students, are you there? Source is a better word for some people. I'm happy calling it God too though. Yeah, it is. Put it this way, God doesn't care the name that you give it, it's just that you believe. You know, when you try to live that way of kindness and stuff, it doesn't mean bow down and be, it's not bowing down anyway, be weak, don't speak. You're still a warrior. I think gods don't have warriors. It's not about being meek and don't say nothing. You have to be strong for those. But I've normally always said I've gone between the universe and source, and I sort of go in and out of that, but I'm more happier saying God now. And then people go, oh, but you know what that spells backwards? Dog. And I go, yeah, and what's a man's best friend? That's how you look at it. Chris H. Keep marching on for God, and may He protect us all from evil, especially children, amen. Yeah, we'll like I said, the people that are coming in and the good military that are helping, you know, who've helped these children from the places we've learnt about. That's why the thing's going on now with Zelensky. I can't say it, the fashion house, whatever it is. Kim Kardashian's going on about it like she didn't know. She's part of it, she gets paid money off them. We all know what the Kardashians are. No wonder Kanye got away. What they pump out to the young ones on social media. You know, I think I put a video, I'm not sure. They're advertising what they put. We all know, we see this. This isn't for us who are awake, it's for the sleeping to wake up. It's not for us, but we're posting it. And they've come back with apparently, oh, we don't know how that got on there. They're advertising, you know, kids with bears, with bonded bears and all that. Yeah, you do, because that's what you are. You're sick, you're ill, you prey on the weak, you prey on children. All that stuff we all know about. They're going down. This is all coming up in the news and people are posting it everywhere. Like I said, things will come up in the media because they're going down anyway. The reason why it's coming up is not to say we knew about this. The people who go, we knew about this, or a lot of the ones we knew about this and then don't want to do anything. It's coming up for the sleeping to rise. Lots of us are already awake, and the rest, I don't think it has to get to mass awakening around the world. There's just a certain amount, and that is what's happening. Truth, exactly. So, you know, people don't deserve dogs. No, and some people don't deserve dogs because they're cruel, you know. But this is what I mean about, you don't have to be into Q, but Q brought me back to that. Q song made me see there was a divine plan, because the people working for that are godly people, they're patriotic. And I've always talked about America. Is America falls, we all fall. America isn't falling. And wait till they reinstate Trump. He's always said the nation under God. That's why I always say God bless America. Why are you so bothered in America? People don't understand. It's a domino effect. Patriotic to any country that, you know, he says America first and then the world. He means every country should be sorting themselves out. It's not to let people in from other countries with tyrannical rule that want us to have a new world order, because that's what's been going on. And their basic thing is to disconnect people from the universe, so God, whatever you want to call it. You know, you can be in many different beliefs of things, people still believe in God. So, you know, yeah. And as for Jedi said in there, that doesn't matter what you believe in the flat earth and doing all that brings you back to God. But I'm at work now, so and I'll speak to you soon. God bless. See you soon. Bye.